What's up everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about what to do when you first start your new job. So one of my last videos was about what to do when you're looking for a job and trying to interview for a job in tech. And today we're going to be talking about the next step. So now you finished all your interviews, you know when your first day is, and these are just some of the things that I would recommend you doing when you actually get to work for the first time. So I personally started a job in 2021 and it was pretty scary because it was the first time I was joining remotely. My last company I joined in person. So there's a few different things I had to do when it came to onboarding and getting to know everyone at the company. And I just thought I'd share everything that I learned with all of you. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the 5 tips I have for getting ready with onboarding at your new company. So first things first, I got my environment set up. So there's going to be a video over here that links exactly how I set up my environment on Windows, and there's a few ZSH plugins that I use on the daily, whether it's here at home on my Windows machine or even at my job. And I would recommend those because I personally found them really useful, and that's what I use to set up my environment at work as well. All the plugins and the way that it looks and everything is exactly how I would do it at work as well, just to keep things consistent. And also, if you have a new environment that you're in, having a setup that's comfortable for you and that you are familiar with definitely helps a little bit, makes things a little faster. So I would recommend setting up your environment how you feel comfortable. Another thing I would also do is set up your repos along with all of that environment setup, because there's probably going to be a lot of passwords, keys, and all of that you need to get set up as well, for at least when it comes to a programming job. All right, the second thing I did was made sure I booked one-on-one time with everyone on my team, whether that's my manager, my coworkers, or even the product manager. Everyone that I would be working with, I made sure to set up time in their calendars so that we could meet. So this is just common courtesy. You're going to be working with them, so you want to know them as people as well, what they like, how they've been, or just like even any advice that they'd have for when you're onboarding, because they've probably at some point been through the same process themselves. So anything that they have to share is usually very helpful. So yeah, introduce yourself and get to know them. So the third thing I did was set up time with my manager so we could talk about my growth and development plan. So this is really important because as you join, that obviously means that you have new growth opportunities, whether it's transitioning from your last job, there's like new horizons you're looking at, or because you started a new role and want to get familiar with what that even is. So talking to your manager just for support on what you need to actually onboard, or even just talking about what you want to do in the future, like the next step that you want to take, or anything that you haven't experienced before that you would like to. Those are amazing things to talk about with your manager. So definitely do that and like hash out a plan on like steps you can take and action on to be able to reach that goal so that you feel like you're growing as well. So the fourth thing I personally did was also, even though it can be a little bit dry, is spend a lot of time looking at documentation, reading through code, and looking at PRs that people did. So personally, I find it very helpful when I look at people's pull requests, just because I think it really helps to know slices of features and how people are changing specific things to achieve a certain kind of functionality. I feel like pull requests really help with that. So I usually spend a lot of time looking through small PRs of different repos that I'll be working with, just so I know the kind of patterns that they use and where certain functionality lies within the repository itself. So yeah, it's a little bit of a grind, but usually documentation is helpful. And something that I personally did as well is that I created a personal knowledge base, which was just a Google sheet that had links to things that I could refer back to. So I was new to a language as well when I joined this current company that I work at. So I felt like reading PRs and documenting examples of things that you could do in this language was really, really helpful for me. So yeah, Google Sheet, it was just like, this is an example of X, and then I just put a link to a PR or like a snippet of code. And that really helped me because when I dove into actually writing code myself, I could refer back to these and have examples that I could reference. And the final thing that I would highly recommend, and this is different to each person, but for me, at least, I find the best way to learn is to just dive in and actually write code yourself. So this involved like picking up small tickets that I could solo on myself, or even pairing on tickets with other people. So if I picked up a ticket myself, I would usually ping someone and just ask some questions to gain familiarity with where I need to actually make certain changes, or even just pairing and shadowing someone while they make a larger change so that I can document it and figure out the next time I need to do something, I can actually do it myself because I have it documented. So yeah, I think personally I learn best by doing, and it's getting your feet wet is kind of the best way to go for me, just because like as I practice doing certain things or changing different parts of the code or going through different patterns, it really, really helps me be able to memorize those patterns. And also if you're in the same area multiple times, you get used to what areas will affect certain things. So yeah, this was just a short video, and I hope some people found it useful from transitioning from the interviewing stage to the next stage of actually working at a new job and how to get comfortable and settle into these new environments. Or even for anyone who just wants to build a habit when they start a new job. I hope this helps. All right, Happy New Year, everyone, and I hope all of you have a wonderful new year, and if you're starting a new job, good luck. See you soon, friends.